I know that you are an author. You are a woman of many hats. I'm excited to have you a part of the 100 Author Movement, and as one of the group leaders. If you could share with the listeners tonight a little bit about your journey as an author.
Okay. As an author, I started out actually as a poetess. I started writing at the age of 16, going through some things in my life changes, as many teens do. And I found myself writing poetry. I have a couple of poems that have been a part of several anthologies that are in the Library of Congress. And I progressed from there, I guess around about 12 to 13 years ago. The Lord allowed me to start capturing parts of my life and just documenting them on paper. And it took about 10 years or better for him to give me the release to actually release that information, which was one of my first literary projects, which is entitled Freed from Broken Beginnings. It is a story about my tattered past and my triumphant and victorious outcome. So he has allowed me to be able to capture many dark places that I have traveled through in order to bring healing and restoration to others who are going through various things in their life. I also, during that time, I was able to pen a effective prayer manual, which I utilize in a lot of my trainings for prayer and in the area of prayer. So God has really been good to me. I have continued to journey through my literary works. I have released several pieces this year, one of which is a book that really helps individuals as they are transitioning or prior to transitioning to help their families know which way to go once they die. So it is very informative and a very comprehensive walk through the journey of getting your affairs in order and leaving information for your family to be able to follow and not have the stress of finding documents and locating information and guessing about your wishes. So I'm really grateful to the Lord for that. My other literary project that was released earlier this year was a 31-day prayer journal, which is 31 days of Psalms. And so I'm just grateful for God and Him allowing me to be able to pen several literary projects. Most of the projects that I have penned are self help, and they allow individuals to actually journey through Bible studies and different aspects of their Christian walk in order to develop a closer relationship and walk with Christ.
Wow. I truly love what you're doing and really sharing the word of God, because a lot of us have gotten out of church, and we need this, because I often remind people that, he said we're going to do greater works. And how would people know of those greater works if we're not putting them to paper, if we're not putting them in a form that they can be archived, so that they can be recovered later. I'm excited, and that book, that journal on helping individuals get their last, I guess you would say, will and testament in order. Those last wishes, those things that you wish to happen as you transition to the next realm. That is nice, because oftentimes, people wonder, what would their loved ones have wanted. You often hear your loved ones say, well, I don't do this, don't do this for me, do this for me. And then when the time comes, then it's oh, well, I don't know what they would want, I don't know what they would want. But I remember, in September, having to, lay my brother to rest. And I just remember my brother just saying, um, do not do this, and do not do this, and do not do
Right.
that. And that's all I remember. And
Mhm.
I let my nephews know, hey, you, this is what, oh yeah, we know this because this is what he always told us. So if you
Right.
have that, some people, a lot of people don't have that the relationship where they voice that opinion and people are able to take that. So we need that. I'm excited about that. If you would, share with us just a little bit about that, because we know that that is a process that we all have to journey. We're all going to have to journey that. That is
Yes.
something that um, we are promised. We have a beginning date, and we're gonna have an end date. So that's something that
Yes.
we're gonna have to do, and having those things in place to make it easier for the family. We know it's not going to be easy, but making it easier, making it really what they want.